Hello and welcome to Comics Should Smell Good. I am back after being... I was sick, I think I was caught up in the Convergence when Brainiac opened up all the domes last week. So, in case you may have heard, DC Comics is on a 2-month break. Convergence, this is a chance to relive all the past heroes from Zero Hour, Crisis of Infinite Earths, Kingdom Come, all these guys from all these, basically all these lost worlds were in dome cities owned by Brainiac. But this new villain called Tellus, he opened them all up and said, let chaos begin, and said, destroy everybody. So we're leading up to in June with kind of a relaunch of DC and a whole brand new universe. And so last week was the big opening. You had all these Supermen and all these Brainiacs and Tellus. And then Convergence 2, the main story kicks off. As you can see, it's Batman confronting Batman. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. And you're going to have a lot of... 0 hour crisis in time kind of heroes. If you remember that time period, all fighting together in the big battle of the multiverse. And we're going to kick it off. There's a bunch of tie-in titles with that, and let's begin with... Ta-da!
Yeah, it is all 90s all the time this week. My first Convergence book for you is Batman, Shadow of the Bat, #1.
Not more 90s can there be than that issue.
Right. Azrael Jean-Paul Valley in the spiky golden bat suit of the 90s. This is written by Larry Hama and drawn by Philip Tan.
And I've got Aquaman, featuring this very nice Becky Cloonan cover of Fishhook Aquaman with long hair, which I always like. Tony Bedard's Cliff Richards. This is definitely bringing back... Man, it feels good. Do you open this up and you get to see, like... Superboy with his leather jacket, and Green Lantern with his, like, angsty, skin-tight 90s thing.
Martian Manhunter with his lack of
Martian Manhunter with lack of pants, yeah. And you know what? And, like, Deathblow and stuff, so boom.
My Convergence is Catwoman, back when Catwoman still wore a purple suit. Once again, more 90s Catwoman from the Zero era. And she's confronted by yet another version of Batman, Justin Gray and Ron Randall. Ta-da!
And we've got a return of one of my favorite iterations of the Justice League here. Justice League International.
Nice.
Fire, Ice, Martian Manhunter, Captain Atom, Ted Kord, the best Blue Beetle. This is written by Ron Mars and drawn by Mike Manley. Expect fun and hijinks there.
Dude, Mike Manley is awesome. Actually, he did the Darkhawk stuff back in the 90s.
Oh, no.
Speaking of 90s. Convergence Green Arrow. Brought to you by Christy Marks and Mr. Rags Morales, dropping this kind of more highly polished style than usual. But this sees the return of Connor Hawke, one of the cooler parts of Green Arrow. And him and Dad go on a friggin' adventure because it's fun and it's just self-contained. And he's got the badass mustache again, the goatee.
How about some more Convergence? The movie's being made now, but this is Suicide Squad. Now, this is when Amanda Waller was still plus size and still a badass. She wasn't like Halle Berry size as she is now with the new 52.
But that's some crap.
Yeah, exactly. Because, Amanda Waller, she's just a badass. And she's recruiting for this Suicide Squad. It's more Metropolis Superman type villains. And, you're going to need them if you're going to go after Kingdom Come size era villains. There you go. Bam.
Alright, and my next one is still skewing towards the sillier side. This is Convergence Supergirl Matrix #1. Yes, the Supergirl that was a pile of purple goo when she got hit too hard. It was a weird thing.
Dude, we could do a 30-minute video just on the Matrix, the Supergirl thing, and still no one would understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, they feebly in the back try to put a 2-page, recap.
No. It's okay, because Keith Giffen knows that nobody understands.
Yeah, right.
And he's going out of his way to make this as fun as possible.
Just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Drawn by Timothy Green II here.
Ooh, yes.
Very good artist.
And more definite 90s action. This is Man of Steel, John Henry Irons, picking up when Superman died in the 90s. Written by one of the original women in comics, Louise Simonson, who was doing, mainstream superhero books way before it mattered if you were a man or a woman. And with art by June Brigman, this sees Natasha Irons, John Irons, and the Irons family beating the crap out of people in big metal suits because... It was the 90s, and they have big hammers.
And big metal shoulder pads.
And big metal shoulder pads, because, the giantness of the cape, they had to have something to hold that under.
Exactly.
Okay,
enough Convergence.
Not enough Convergence.
Never enough Convergence.
Never enough Convergence.
2 more Convergence.
Not until June.
I'm not doing any more Convergence. Go for it.
My last one here is Green Lantern Parallax, written by Tony Bedard, who's doing a whole heck of a lot of these books.
Right?
Drawn by Ron Wagner, featuring both Kyle Rayner and Hal Jordan from the 90s. There was only a bit of really overlap there while they were still active until Green Lantern Rebirth came about, so this is really interesting seeing them actually interact and having, you know, Kyle with the ring and Hal with the not quite space bug yet powers, back when it was just, oh, I ate like 10 Green Lantern rings, now I glow green.
Right. And my final one, Superboy, with this very nice cover by Babstar. Fabian Nicieza, Carmeline. This was when it was cool to wear leather jacket, have like a Jerry curl, I don't even know what you would call that thing, with like this half shaved and then, you know.
It's kind of the Macklemore style. He was doing it way before then.
He just needed to pump it
a
little bit.
Yeah,
if he could just do the pump and he's got the leather jacket, man, he could have been a rapper.
So close.
Don't mess with the S.
Exactly.
Will, I mean, you need to write this right now, man.
Don't
I'm
mess
telling
with
you.
the S.
Don't mess with the S. Alright, enough of that. Anyway,
Convergence.
back to real comic books.
And you
for
know,
this
in
week.
like, seems like in only a month and a half, we'll be talking about our Secret Wars Warzones books of the week, which
Oh,
there'll be a gazillion
God.
of those. Anyway, so let's get to my other pick for this is a Marvel. This is Uncanny X-Men. Here's, Brian Michael Bendis has written a love letter to all of us fans who love the gal pals that are Kitty Pryde and Ilyana, Magic. He made me love Magic. I kind of really hated Magic for several years, but he made me love Magic again. I know you're like,
But
I know,
metal arm and
yeah, whatever. She's
Fraser
got-
Irving in Hell? Like,
that's what it was. That's what made me love her again. Thank you, Fraser Irving and Bendis. But anyway, so this is Kitty and Ilyana on Monster Island, looking for a new mutant, and it's really fun, and there's a lot of adventure, and there's just a real, it just goes for the heart here, and I really love it. Thank you, Mr. Bendis, for this, reminding us of what the mutants are really all about. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a really nice issue.
Here.
Chris
Chris
Anka.
Anka, yes,
Yeah, man.
being awesome.
Yeah, and I thought his art in this looked better, or even like nicer than his normal stuff. I think he really is hitting that. He's got a good colorist. Really is very nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
Next up from Image here, this is the second issue of the long-awaited Chrononauts from Mark Millar and Sean Gordon Murphy. And no, you're not seeing things. This really is the Danger Zone Special Edition.
Yes!
Top Gun style, volleyball playing time travel shenanigans. Because it's exactly what you want.
Take my breath away.
That's right. We would break out into song, but I think Morgan...
Right into the danger zone.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Just get it out of your system.
Somebody start talking about it.
From Dark Horse this week, we have the second edition of this very awesome spy-fi noir book, or spy-fi, God, I've been reading too many Casanovas and Zeros and whatever. Spy thriller by Victor Santos called Polar, soon to be major motion picture apparently. And this follows after the end of the first one. Christy White is shot in the head, left for dead, and is brought back to life by a mysterious man who teaches her how to get revenge. Kind of basic story, but amazing art. Victor Santos totally channels some Frank Miller, Ronin type of stuff with like really great action scenes and a lot of fun color. He's been also doing stuff with Mike Oeming for the Mice Templar. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Great crime espionage stuff.
My final pick of the week is Legendary Star at 11. This is chapter 12. I can't believe there's been 12 chapters. It's moved really fast already of the Black Vortex, which is a big thing with X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy. But you can jump on into this. A lot of humor, a lot of action. Black Vortex is this weird artifact that turns cosmically, it kind of tempts you and turns you to this all-powerful being. And I mean, there's Thane, there's Thanos, there's Mr. Knife, who's this kind of, I won't give away who he is, and his Slaughter Lords, and all kinds of cosmic versions of all your favorite X-Men and Guardians who've kind of like given into the power. This is a big one because there's an entire planet who's kind of like about to be harvested by the Brood, if you can imagine, and of course what that'll do for the whole universe. There's more magic and Kitty Pryde in this one, and for all you Starcat fans, yes, I am down with the social media. I know that
I was like, what's Starcat?
Peter Quill, Star-Lord, and Kitty Pryde, they have great chemistry, but for all you fans of their romance, something really big happens in this that could put their love in jeopardy along with the rest of the Cosmos. And final, almost next to the last, Omega hits next week. It's the final issue. But it's been a lot of fun. Sam Humphries really captures kind of humor, and they've done a good job of balancing all these characters and villains. So there you go, Black Vortex. Ta-da!
Right? My next book for you is from Marvel as well. This is Thor #7, Jason Aaron, Russell Dodderman, who absolutely blows the fight with the Destroyer out of the park.
Yep.
It is incredible.
Yeah, it's really good.
And we're also getting back to Roz, a character from the last volume of Thor, who was really, really interesting, and takes a little trip to the moon in this issue, interestingly enough. Might be big developments for the ongoing Thor storyline there.
My next pick, Spawn, number 251 from Image. I have not talked about a Spawn book, and I can't even tell you how long. But Spawn this was my thing when I was a kid. Like, this probably shaped me more than I care to admit. But John Boy Myers is taking over penciling duties on this new era of Spawn. Al Simmons is back. White dude is out. I don't even know who the white dude was, but he's gone. Paul Jenkins, Todd McFarlane doing the story. But this John Boy Myers does this really kind of cool anime style, like gritty urban Spawn. And Al Simmons is like walking around in a leather jacket and a red hoodie, and then all of a sudden it becomes like his Spawn outfit. Yeah, it's kind of cool, kind of cheesy, but I'm into it. There's vampires, there's werewolves. Oh yeah, and he's got a big sword. Because why doesn't he have a big sword before? I don't know.
Big sword, venom mouth, that much cooler.
That's what I'm saying. The 90s are happening again. It's not just Convergence this week.
A really quick, bizarre story that you guys do not know this. So at my other job, which is at Como 4, my intern comes up to me and says, "Hey, I know you love comic books. I have this comic book for you by a guy who used to be my next door neighbor. It's an original Spawn #2 from Todd McFarlane. He used to be his neighbor." And he said, "Yeah, he used to bring over these mock-ups of some of the toys he's developing in his toy company." And I'm like salivating. Like, you're my intern for life if you want to be. But anyway, so I have an original Spawn #2 from way back in the day, but I have a #1 because I'm that old.
That's
yeah,
hey, I got prototypes for me. Let me flip
I know.
those.
I want some of those toys. Come on. So anyway, sorry to interrupt, but I just had to share that with you. What a small world it is.
Right?
My next book for you here, Vertigo's Strange Sports Stories #2. It's the second of 4 issues commemorating the old school 50s sports stories that DC used to do back when they had other genres than superheroes. This has got an amazing skateboarding story by East of West's Nick Dragotta. There's a Ron Wimberly story, which I can't even tell what sport it's about, but it is absolutely beautiful. Some really interesting boxing stuff, and then some story about a lot of half-naked men on roller skates. So, you know, if that's your thing,
It's by
right
10
here.
fish. It's what the man does, clearly. And we're just hopping over Will, because Will's having a crisis of faith.
I'm out of books.
Okay. So we're gonna make up for it. Bloodshot #1, Bloodshot Reborn from Valiant Comics this week. I have been all about Valiant Comics lately. They've been paying me good money, so I'm going to continue with the press here. But no, genuinely, I have not been terribly interested in the stuff Valiant's been doing up until recently, where they pulled in Paolo Rivera, Jeff Lemire, Matt Kinn, Alish Kott, and they've been really doing some different stuff with their characters, which is cool, new for them. And this is picking up. Basically, if you've never read Bloodshot before, you don't need to. It's cool. You basically pick it up, and it's like, who's Bloodshot? Red eyes, white skin, and guns. And boom, it's like All-Star Superman. They tell you what you need to know about the character in 3 panels. And basically, he has retired from his life of killing, is trying to hide out, but the psychosis that digs deep down in his brain that makes him kill will not let him go. So, inevitably, death must return. But beautiful art by Miku Suyan in here. They're already a year out. Valiant is way ahead on their art, and this is so gorgeous. David Barron does the colors. Just this opening spread with Bloodshot in bed is pretty amazing.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty amazing. So very cool from Vertigo or from Valiant this week.
Also, who is Bloodsquirt? You'll find out.
Ooh. And who will answer the phone? Ready? Oh, it got answered. Look at that.
Oh,
That's
good.
Bloodshot calling.
All right.
Just in time for my last pick here. This is a double shot for you, actually, from Archie Comics. Not 1, but 2 horrifying books coming out this week.
But it's
We've
Archie.
got-
Don't they do kids comics?
This is new Archie, man.
Oh,
Exactly.
Excuse me.
From the newly branded Archie Horror, we've got the long-awaited second issue of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. The first issue was this horribly creepy, like, Rosemary's Baby style, like, slow burn thriller, introducing various, like, backstory parts of Sabrina's life, like her creepy dad, who may or may not be trapped in a tree these days, her obscenely creepy aunts, far more creepy than the ones from the old TV show, and her cousin, who's kind of just a jerk. And over on the other side of things, we have from Dark Horse and Archie,
Yay.
Archie versus Predator.
Yay!
Written by the amazing Alex DeCampi,
Yay.
who we basically love everything by. You should buy No Mercy because
No
it's
Mercy
amazing.
was so good. Oh my god.
Drawn by Fernando Ruiz, colored by Rich Kozlowski.
Inked by Rich Kozlowski.
Inked? Oh, okay, cool. And
Sorry.
that must mean that Jason Millet's the colorist. I'm reading the stuff off the cover. They don't give you
Yeah.
that much information.
I know.
This here is the awesome Eric Powell variant, which they decapitated Jughead.
And the burger.
Yes.
I love the burger.
The iconic burger. We got a bunch of other covers for it too, because
Yeah.
it's an awesome comic, and
It's
what
spring break
marks
from
an awesome
hell
comic
when
than covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. My money is actually on Archie, though.
He's scrappy.
He's probably gonna live. My final book this week, Runlovekill.
That's beautiful.
If there isn't a comic that is more, like, I didn't really like the title initially, but then as Morgan so aptly pointed out, well, that's all that's going to happen in this comic. And I was like, yes! This is what I want. 8 issues. Eric Canete, or Canete, however you want to say it, and John Tsuei have crafted an 8-issue, what is sure to be balls-to-the-wall action thriller that takes place in kind of sci-fi, cyberpunky city type of deal. But absolutely, like, super intense kind of Ron Wimberly, Robert Valley type of deal. A little bit of Peter Chung, a little bit of Eon Flux. But this is absolutely gorgeous, and the opening starts out just, you can hear the music and the violence, and it crescendos so well. So good. But yeah, you know.
Well, since they picked all the comics this week, I'm going to be the one that says goodbye, so enjoy your Convergence. Come and get some comics because they really smell good, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.